Hey everyone, it's been almost a whole year since we've come through to the Hideout. We've come here a couple of times in the last week or two to do some work on it in preparation for WestFest, which is next weekend. We didn't really have too many issues with how overgrown it was. We hadn't been here since I think sometime last summer, where after one of the cyclones, to see how bad it was. But as you can see, we've cleaned up quite a decent amount of it. Most of the heavy work is done. You can see like it's true width all the way across. The biggest issue I think has been dealing with moss, because it pretty much holds on to, it maintains a wet patch on the concrete. As you can see, some parts that we cleaned up earlier today. Just got a couple of boys here helping us out, pretty much doing like edge work and getting rid of a lot of the weeds which we had a bit of issue with along the side here and all the way along the side here. But you can see this section here in the middle is actually quite wide. We've also been removing quite a few of the stumps and the ground from last year's cleanup. And yeah, today is pretty much just cleaning up a lot of this litter, sweeping it up, shoveling it out, making sure that people can use the full width of the driveway. But you can see it's looking pretty good. The last thing we really need to do is get rid of this and clean up the bottom section. We already took an attempt at it last week or week before, but as you can see it's quite long that way and it goes into the bush that way, so we're gonna have to come back with chainsaw or spend a couple of minutes hacking at it with a pull saw or something, which we made an attempt, but even cutting through that top section took us half an hour with a pull saw, and it's getting pretty warm. Now we're in the second day of summer here in New Zealand. We're going to clean up this bottom section. As you can see, this is pretty much what we had to deal with a lot along the track when we came back to it. This is kind of the state it was in when we returned a year later. And yeah, we've cleaned up the top and most of the middle, and now we just got to do the bottom. But that should be done by next week because we got WestFest. It's going to suck.